Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Inwin A1 Mini-ITX tower. I do know these were released a few years ago, but they did make some revisions to this case that I wanted to look into. So stick around if you are looking for a Mini-ITX build, because this episode might have some things you're looking for. See you guys in a minute. Alright, so a little bit of context on why I'm looking at a case that came out a few years ago. So like I said at the intro of the video, they have made some revisions to this case. And I feel that a lot of people might be looking into doing their first Mini-ITX build. So there's some things you should know about Mini-ITX. The motherboard only comes in one standard, and they're really small. And the cases are really small to build in. Cable management is very difficult. Just pretty much everything in general is difficult. You need to pre-plan. You can't just buy the case, buy the power supply, grab any graphics card. You really need to make sure what you're gonna purchase will fit in these cases. When you order these on Amazon, this is pretty much the box it's gonna come in. I kind of don't like how it's all laid out for everybody to see, especially if they leave it at your front door, but that's pretty much how Amazon goes. I should have had it put in a separate box, but let's get to the unboxing. So when you unbox a case, usually it's easy just to hold it, flip it gently. Don't forget, a lot of these cases do have tempered glass, other components inside of them, so slowly. And this is the side, and here's your tempered glass panel, and there's your front, and that's pretty much the unboxing. Not much to see, because everything you're going to need is going to be on the inside. They usually put it in a drive bay in like a little box or in a little Ziploc baggie. We'll find out soon enough where they put everything. The thing about this panel, this case, that I really like is how the tempered glass panel comes off. You literally just pull these two clips out and it opens just like that. Not really any weight to it. Here we go. Here's our baggie. So this is all you're gonna need for your case. They're gonna give you some zip ties, things like that. Let's take a look. Motherboard screws. We got some more screws. This must be for the addressable RGB, because all this lights up on the bottom. Connects via SATA. We got some brackets. We got some zip ties. And we have some more 3M tape. You scan the QR code with your phone, the manual comes up. You also can go to inwin.com and you could download the manual on your computer and you could go from there. So the revisions I've noticed, I wrote them down. That way I don't miss anything, so I could give you guys some better detail. The number one thing I noticed in the case was it actually comes with 2 fans. The original did not come with 2 fans. It came with no fans at all. So now they gave us 2 Cirrus Loop ASL 120 fans, okay? The power supply was a 600 watt, 80 plus bronze non-modular power supply. They've bumped it up to a 650 watt, 80 plus gold. From what I see, it's non-modular still, but I will take off the shroud that covers the power supply, because they placed it up here, to see if that's changed. They also said it was cable managed, which I can tell they did put some zip ties here. It looks like they tidied it up a little bit to make it easy on you. Now the charger on the top, that's something I really liked about this case, is it has a wireless charging station, a convertible station I believe they're called. This one's called a WPC Key 1.2 10 watt charger. The original was a 5 watt charger. So I believe this is going to be a lot better for people who have the phones that are compatible. I believe they're glass back phones. I know my iPhone 11 and my 12 Pro Max both do charge like that, wireless charging. So we'll be testing both of those phones to see how it fares. This case was originally designed for an HT PC, a home theater PC, something you just build and you tuck it away. That's why I really didn't understand what was with the charger, but yeah. The original Inwin A1 was $170. it came with no fans, a 600-watt bronze power supply. This one comes with 2 fans, a 650-watt gold power supply, and an upgraded wireless charger on the top. So it looks like you're paying a $30 premium, but you are receiving 2 fans, an upgraded power supply, and an upgraded wireless key charger. $30 for that, I think that's worth it. You know, going up 50 watts, going gold at that, then adding 2 fans so you don't have to put them in yourself. I mean, it's not a big deal to put in the fans, but still, it's nice that they actually added those fans. It also has RGB. All this lights up. It's addressable RGB, and it works with Aurora Sync, RGB Fusion, Polychrome Sync, and MSI Mystic Light. Now, that's if your motherboard has an addressable RGB header on it. So if you are planning to use the RGB on this, make sure your motherboard has an addressable RGB header. All you've got to do is go online and check the manual for the motherboard you're planning to purchase and make sure it has an addressable RGB header, and you're off to the races. There are adapters, I do believe. The power supply comes with 2 GPU PCIe 6+2 pin connections. It says for high-end GPUs up to 320 millimeter long. So what that means is when you put your graphics card in, you do not want to go any larger than 320 millimeters length. This is why initially at the beginning of the video I said you need to choose your parts wisely. It also says a CPU heatsink. This is for your thermal solution. Whatever you're going to use to cool your CPU should not have a height bigger than 160 millimeter. That's because it might hit the tempered glass, so you want to make sure it's low. Also, you can put a 120 millimeter radiator in here, so a closed loop and AIO. For the front ports, we have 2 USB 3.0s, an HD audio, a power button, no reset button. That's not a big deal. In the rear, as you could tell, you could fit a 2-slot graphics card. They did not add a power on or power off to the PSU, so that is still the same. All right, so the side panel here where you're probably gonna do your wire management, this isn't like these pop-off clips. You're gonna need something to loosen them. Now, as you can see back here, you're not gonna have much room for cable management. You got a little bit of depth here and it goes in a little bit here, but you're gonna have to really, you know, do some real good workarounds here to make sure. I like because they already put this behind here for you. They already put the, what is this, the front panel connection right here for you. Is this front panel? Yeah, it is. So the cool thing is they're not just loose wires for your front panel connector. It's already a full adapter put on here, so you're not literally putting each one in, stabbing the little pins into your fingernails. You just plug it right in, you're done. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, these are your 2.5-inch drive bays for your SSDs. You just take them out like so, place your SSDs on here, and tighten it down. You have some good room down here, and that's pretty much it for the rear of this case. We have our power cord, 2 PCIe 6+2 pin connections right here. We got our 24 pin, some SATA cables. There's our fan connections here, RGB connections here. Yeah, our fans do light up. All right, cool. That's a lot of RGB. If you're into RGB, well then, yeah, you're gonna like this case a lot. So let's get this shroud off. And let's see, what did they do here, if there's any changes in here. It is still a non-modular case, power supply. I believe that the other power supply that came in the first version of this case was the 80-watt bronze power supply, I believe I wrote down. So yeah, the original power supply was the 80 bronze Powerman, I believe, or Power Watt or something like that. This is an Inwin power supply. The reason I chose the Inwin A1 Mini ITX tower is because if this is your first time building a Mini ITX rig, this is a great place to start. Your power supply is already installed, so you don't have to sweat that. It comes with 2 GPU 6+2 connections, so you don't have to worry about that. And for the size, you could fit a 320mm graphics card inside of here. That's great. You could fit a 120mm radiator here for an AIO. That is great. It's full of RGB. It's got this cool little charger on the top that doesn't just charge your phone, charges wireless mice also. So that's also good to know. This charger stays on even when you turn off your computer. The front I/O, it's good enough. It's got the 2 3.0s, the HD audio, and a power switch. This isn't a case for people who are planning to do editing or need a lot of USB ports. I mean, you can always look for a motherboard that has the right amount, or you could use a hub. This is more for, like I said originally, a home theater PC. You build in it, you tuck it away. Having this charger on the top full of RGB, you wouldn't want to hide this case. I'm not big on RGB. I'm really not. My computer mostly just stays on the R, like I've said before. If you do and you like RGB, this is the case for you. The 2 lights that come in, the 2 fans, the 2 lights, the 2 fans that are already included are RGB. It has all this addressable RGB down here. This whole thing lights up. You could fit 2 more 120mm fans down here at the bottom. I believe these are what they intend for your intake. These would be your outtake. Steve at Gamers Nexus, when he did this review on the first case, he placed it like this, flat panel down. That way these fans have more access to air. And it actually helped, I believe, by 5 or 6 Celsius. Another thing to let you know is they have not changed this bottom piece. It is still plastic. The screen, the filter, won't just come off easily. You gotta take off these screws to clean your filter. I'm gonna do the RGB just to show you guys, so make sure you're subscribed for that video. I will be doing a build in here. I will be doing a step-by-step Mini ITX build, trying to help those that have not built an ITX build before, to try and make it a little bit easier for you. Try and give you some ideas of how you should place your cable management. Quick details on the case. It comes in white, black, and pink. I was gonna get the pink one. My wife said, no, get the white one. So we went with the white one. Again, it is Mini ITX. Thermal solution compatibility. Side fan over here in the back. It can have one 120mm. In the rear fan, one 120 or a 120mm radiator. The bottom can have 2 120mm bottom fans. It weighs, I believe, 15 pounds and then like 17.5 pounds once you build in it. So it's got some weight to it, but not, well, it's got some weight to it. It does weigh 15 pounds. For those of you interested in the warranty of the case, it comes with a 5-year warranty on the power supply, a 2-year warranty on the chassis and the fans, and a 1-year warranty on the key or chi or whatever you want to call it charger. So my final opinion on the case is I like it. I think it is a very pretty case. I wish they would have went with at least a 700 watt power supply gold. That probably would have been a little better idea, especially if they're saying for high-end GPUs. I know what you're saying. 650 is probably good because you don't want to overdo it in this small case thermally. But a person like me, as you could tell, I take a lot of things off my case. I spend a lot of money on the case, and I terminator it because of airflow. I just don't feel like you should throw it in a corner somewhere. It just, you know, like this is fine, but not like under something hidden away. I mean, if you're buying this case, you're probably not using it that. Hide it away. I would not use extensions in this case for your power supply, because at that point all your cables will be mashed in there, because all extensions are is they add to the existing wires coming from your power supply. The Inwin A1 Mini ITX tower. Tell me down below, what do you think? Is it worth the $200 now with the 2 fans, the upgraded charger, and the better power supply? Or was it better off leaving it alone the way it was and not even mess with this case? And what is your favorite Mini-ITX case? Give us some idea down below what you feel that would be a great starter Mini-ITX case build for somebody who's just getting into Mini-ITX. These are hard to build in, so if anybody's asking for help down in the comments, give them some tips. If you have any tips of your own, put them down below. Don't forget to subscribe because we will be building in this case. I am just waiting for the motherboard. I'm waiting for the AIO. So guys, as always, thank you for watching. If you're a returning subscriber, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing. It only takes a second to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next video.